Hi, so this is the first video I wanted to make. I want to talk about the results of the election and what it means for us going forward. So we know that the election, both the general on November 3rd as well as the runoff in Georgia the other day, they were all totally fair. There were no shenanigans, no fraud, nothing unusual. So we'll go with that. Bottom line is, let's look at the result. We have the Democrats in charge of everything, essentially. We've got the White House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. So what are we up against then? We're up against a Democrat Party that has a lot of division, but yet at the end, they're still the same. You have the group that aren't really into politics, but just kind of follow along. They might read a headline in the paper that says "Orange Man bad." They'll follow along. They'll be promised some sort of benefit. They'll go along with it. They're not really into politics that much, but that's a small faction of them. Then you have the old school Democrats, which maybe they're a little bit older. They were around before the party was as crazy as it is now, and they were in labor unions and followed the party. And as the party inch and inch further left, they just kind of went along, not really caring, winking and nodding, going along with it. Then you have the socialists who have this romantical idea that socialism is going to make everybody equal and we'll all be the same, we'll all be happy, it's all going to work out wonderfully. Evidently Venezuela worked out great, and they're just under the idea that it's a great thing. Well, it will all be the same, all right. We'll all be equally broke, but don't tell them. Apparently, they're going to have to find that out themselves. Worse yet, you have the revolutionaries. You have the ones that know how bad their policies will be and how it'll destroy us, but they don't care. They go along with it because they want this country brought down. They want revenge on all of us. They'll consider it a noble duty for their life, for the quality of life to be less, if it means bringing the country down, bring all of us to our knees. So when I say that even though the parts of the party are different, really they're all the same. They're all going to vote the same in the end. They always seem to come together whenever there's a critical vote. Maybe one or two Democrats will dissent, but you don't see that too often. More or less, they vote as a block. So we're up against academia. Kids these days, they don't go to college to learn a skill and to get ahead. They spend $100,000 to get a bachelor's degree, which qualifies them to be a barista at Starbucks. So next time Jessica's there, I'll have her get a big frappy and let them get some benefit from that. As far as the lower education, it's about a social agenda. They don't actually teach life skills anymore. So I don't trust these schools. I have to have conversations with my kids about things that they're taught in school. The media, they don't even pretend to be not biased anymore. Apparently that's okay. A media is not supposed to be biased. They're supposed to be a completely objective reporter of facts, but that's not the case anymore. They have their narratives. They'll report anything, they'll twist anything, twist people's words, edit, and all of the above. Journalistic integrity doesn't exist anymore. I was watching a video of the election coverage from the 80s, and you had your Sam Donaldsons, Tom Brokaw's, Peter Jennings, whatnot. People, obviously are liberal, but they at least had the integrity. They reported news. Every once in a while their bias would come out, but it wasn't like it was today. That's completely gone. They're going to cover up any story that doesn't follow their narrative. Remember, like the Biden laptop that so many people didn't even know about when they went and voted for him, that later reported, had they known, they probably wouldn't have voted for him. Maybe it would have made a difference. Who really knows? As far as culture, you have your cancel culture today. You have your social media that's going to ban people. If you don't fall in line, if you say what they don't want you to say, they're going to ban you. We saw it with Trump being banned from Twitter for life, evidently. Well, apparently we're all going to be next. If we don't fall in line, we're going to lose our voice, and there's going to be no dissent. You're going to have the media telling everyone that things are great and everybody's happy because we're not going to have a voice. We're not going to have a way to get out there and talk. As far as the Supreme Court, the left's going to push the radical agenda, but is the Supreme Court going to stop them? You have Roberts, who obviously isn't. He's in bed with them. As far as the other justices, all it takes is one, to dissent, and it's not going to do anything. The judicial system is generally slow. And have they done anything to act? Have they stopped anything lately? Are they going to step in and do it? I don't know. They're going to be under pressure, both politically, financially, blackmail, whatnot. So I don't see the Supreme Court being very beneficial. I don't know where we go from there. You have a submissive population right now after everything that's been going on for the last year. A year ago, everything was great. We had a good economy. Now we don't have a good economy. We got so many people out of work. We got lockdowns. We got all these draconian measures. People are going to be more likely to go along because they're afraid. You got the media pushing the fear narrative. So that's just going to make it easier for them. That doesn't benefit us. With the makeup of the Senate, with a 50-50 split, of course, Harris is going to be the tiebreaker. She's going to go along with it. Joe Manchin has come out and said that he'll object, but will he? If Upchuck puts the screws to him, he's going to cave. I don't see him holding strong unless he switches parties, which he's been a lifelong Democrat. I don't see why he would do that unless he was going to really take a stand. I don't know, putting too much trust in one man. Not only that, you got the Weasley Republicans. You've got the Mitt Romneys and the Murkowskis and the Collins. They're going to fold. They've screwed us over so many times. So all it takes is one of them, even if Manchin holds up. So it doesn't bode well for us there. We can't really rely on that for a long time. The left, the power establishment in Washington, they feel that they've had their right to power stripped from them. If you look at the election results of Washington for I don't even know how long. You can go back for years. It's 95%, at least 95% Democrat for the last 40, 50 years. So all your government agencies, your media, your academia, they run D.C. Doesn't matter who's in Congress or the White House. They do what they want. They own everybody. So in the last 4 years, with the Trump movement, they feel that's been taken from them. They're going to be looking for revenge. They're going to look to push it on us.